Welcome to Voices from the Abyss. If you're listening tonight, you're not alone. Beneath every stretch of open water, there are depths we've never seen and things we've never discovered. Tonight's story begins in complete darkness, miles below the surface, where something ancient is still moving. So settle in, get comfortable, and listen closely, because far below you, something is awake. There is a boundary deep in the ocean that remains a mystery. It's called the Thermocline. Below it, light disappears, and the unknown begins. This account comes from a research vessel that picked up a signal from the depths that should not have been there. The Hestia had been drifting for 6 hours when Mara first noticed it. A low vibration moved up through the hull, through the soles of her boots, and settled somewhere behind her sternum, like a second heartbeat. She pressed her palm flat against the cold metal wall of the research vessel and held her breath. Nothing. Just the creak of the ship and the endless black Pacific outside. "Hydrophone's picking up something weird again," called Desh from below deck. She found him hunched over the monitor, headphones around his neck, face lit pale blue by the screen. The readout showed a waveform she didn't recognize. Long, slow oscillations that didn't match any whale song in their database. Didn't match anything. "Depth?" she asked. "That's the thing," he zoomed out. "It's coming from the trench. 11,000 meters, give or take." The Vittoria Trindagi Trench. They'd been stationed above it for weeks, cataloging thermal vents. In all that time, nothing unusual. No anomalies. No reason to feel what she was feeling now, which was the very specific and irrational urge to pull up the anchor and run. "Play it," she said. He hit a key. The sound that came through the cabin speakers was low and resonant, like a cathedral organ played underwater. It lasted nearly 40 seconds, and then, at the very end, it changed. A shift in tone so subtle she almost missed it. Almost. The sound had somehow turned toward them. That night she dreamed of the deep, not darkness. She expected darkness. Instead, there was a faint bioluminescent glow, blue-green and diffuse, and in it she could just make out a shape. Vast, slow-moving, patient. It had no eyes she could identify, but she knew that it was looking at her, that it had been looking at her for a very long time. She woke at 3 a.m. to the sound of the winch. Someone, or something, was pulling the sonar array up from the water. She found the deck empty. The winch was turning on its own, cable reeling in fast, water streaming off the line and pooling across the deck boards. Desh appeared behind her, half-dressed, and they stood together, watching the array surface. It broke the waterline, trailing black kelp they hadn't seen in any of their dive surveys. The sensor housing was cracked, the pressure casing split open from the outside in, and pressed into the soft polymer casing of the transponder, a mark. A depression the size of a shipping container, curved like the impression left by something incredibly large, pressing a single fingertip down to investigate. Neither of them spoke. The Hestia tilted, not violently, just a slow, deliberate lean to the starboard side as if something enormous had slid beneath the hull and was gently, curiously pressing upward. The ocean around the ship went still. No chop, no swell. Just a glossy black mirror stretching out in every direction. Beneath the surface, 40 feet down, Mara could see a shape, a pale mass, enormous and formless, rising. "Start the engine," she said quietly. "Mara, start the engine, Desh." He ran. She stayed. She didn't know why. Some part of her, the scientist in her maybe, needed to see it. Needed to look at the thing that had been listening to them, studying them, as they had been studying the deep without ever once considering that the deep might study back. The shape rose to just below the surface and stopped. The water above it was glassy and undisturbed, pulled taut like skin over something vast and breathing. She could make out no face, no fins, and no recognizable features. What she could see was scale. A pale expanse that stretched beyond the reach of the deck lights in every direction, wide enough that the Hestia sat above it like a splinter on a snowfield. And yet it was still, waiting. It moved with the long, unhurried patience of something that has never once needed to chase. The engine roared to life beneath her feet. The shape descended, slowly, without urgency. It knew, she understood, that there was no hurry at all, that she would come back, that everyone eventually comes back. Thank you for listening to Voices from the Abyss. If you enjoyed tonight's story, make sure to follow so you don't miss what rises next. And if you find yourself near the water, listening, just remember, not everything beneath the surface is asleep. Good night.